Well, if any of you guys are familiar with Nintendo Direct, and I am, you might find that there has been some really cool Super Smash Brothers information being put out, and it's Cloud from Final Fantasy VII has been officially announced as a character for Smash. A little late to this news, but you know what? Kind of a funny story.
This is unexpected in so many ways. Okay. So...
No, my first response...
Yeah.
I didn't actually watch the Nintendo Direct when it came out, because I didn't know. Like, Nintendo's kind of sporadic whenever they release these things. Like, hey, there's a Nintendo Direct out. Today, even! So I really didn't know. And then I was scrolling on Facebook, and then I saw, like, a post that Cloud is in Super Smash Brothers. I saw, like, the first part of it, and I thought it was fake. Because it's not impossible to fake this.
Yeah.
People have made mods to Super Smash Bros. Brawl. They've made character mods. They've put in Zero and like custom backgrounds.
Pucky,
and I'm just like, this is a really impressive mod.
I know, right?
Because it's been done. It's not impossible. And then, slowly the wheels in the head started turning. Like, wait a minute, could this be real? And it was just like, well, yeah, if you think about it, because they did have that poll to try to get people invested into putting their favorite characters in this game. And I'm just like, oh. Then I look it up, and I'm like, oh my god, this is legit. Mm-hmm. Cloud is legitimately in Super Smash Brothers. This is awesome!
That is... Wow. I always wanted to see Cloud in a fighting game. And to actually see him in Smash was really, really cool.
Yeah, Air Gaze wasn't enough.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Air Gaze, he was in that one.
I forgot completely about Air Gaze.
Yeah, Air Gaze. I guess
I remember that that real clunky PS1 fighting game.
Yeah, Cloud,
Sephiroth,
Tifa, Vincent.
Right.
I think Yuffie's in it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Air Gaze wasn't really.
I wanted to see him in a good fighting game.
I guess that leaves Dissidia out.
I remember one time you and I went to our local video game store. We saw that there was a walkthrough for Air Gaze, and you just kind of scoffed at it.
You know, like, I'm sorry, but like walkthroughs for fighting games, like what's the walkthrough?
Speaking of which, we went to Toys R Us once and we saw a big old strategy guide for Smash Brothers.
Again, like, not much of a strategy guide necessary, really, but
right.
Unless it's like a one big here's how you play.
So we watched the trailer. It was a well-made. Well, you know these character debut trailers. They're always showing what the character can do. So the character always looks like a beast.
Make the other characters look bad.
Yeah, he's beating the crap out of Mario and Sonic and Ryu and Mega Man. And there was one really funny where he's like asleep and Zelda's like next to him with a flower. I thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah.
He has two costumes. I guess his soldier one,
and then he's got his Kingdom Hearts 2 Advent Children
one. Yeah.
I think that was his Kingdom Hearts.
Everything's back to Kingdom Hearts with you.
Well, no, because I think that's where it debuted first.
Okay.
Like, I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing Advent Children until after Kingdom Hearts 2 came out.
Either way. But, anyway, and then they showed his stage, which was, he has a Midgar stage with all the hazards.
Yeah, with all the hazards, which are the summons.
Summons, which was kind of cool.
At first, I thought those were his attacks, and I'm like, that's kind of broken.
I know.
So, I'm like, how's that going to work? Like, he can summon freaking Odin, Bahamut, and like, Ifrit. I'm like, no. I'm like, oh, it's part of the stage.
It's part of the stage.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's like, better.
How much crap did they give this guy?
like, god damn.
And they also showed his limit breaks, and
yeah, he's got as far as we saw two of them. He's got the cross slash.
Yeah.
And of course,
Omni-slash.
He's got to have Omni-slash.
I am disappointed that it wasn't him doing Omni-slash on Link. Because I know people would have gotten a real big kick out of that.
Oh.
Revenge for Death Battle. People really would have got a kick out of that.
Yeah, that would have been funny, wouldn't it? Who did he do it on?
The dude from
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, yeah.
Ooh, that's a jab.
Yeah.
Take that, you lesser RPG. Now, as cool as it is to see Cloud and Smash Bros. And honestly,
now before you start,
I'm not even going to go into that yet. I'm saying
just
the negative part. I'm not going into that yet.
Before you start. For me, it is always really sweet seeing a character from a non-fighting game get incorporated into a fighting game.
Yeah, I was just about to mention.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that now that we've seen Cloud, it's open season.
Right.
Anybody couldn't be in Smash.
Right.
Because, like, it was cause for concern. Well, I wouldn't say negativity concern, but, like, when this whole thing was announced, like, we're going to open up this website where all of you can send in vouchers and votes for characters you would like to see as future DLC in Smash. People were optimistic about it, but then they were also realistic. Like, hey, let's be honest. Who really could we possibly see in Smash? And of course, people, I guess, sent in enough votes to see Ryu. Ryu was not impossible for me to imagine, because, like, like you mentioned before, Street Fighter 2 back in the day, and it's possible, but lately he's not exactly a Nintendo brand character. He's kind of been relegated to, like, Street Fighter 4 has been an Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 thing, so it'd be pretty weird. Not impossible, but weird. And then, lo and behold, Ryu got announced for Smash, and it worked out pretty well. So I'm just like, okay, still not entirely sure that means everybody can be in. I mean, it's possible, but he's a fighter. So I guess, okay, so maybe other fighters can be open season. Then...
Before you go into negativity, can I jump in for a minute?
Oh, yeah, go on.
Okay. Like I was saying earlier, for me, it's always cool seeing a character from a non-fighting game incorporated into a fighting game, and I automatically think of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It was really cool seeing a character like Chris Redfield, or a character like Dante, a character that comes from a non-fighting game and incorporated into a fighting game. I always thought that was kind of...
Yeah.
It's always cool to see what kind of attacks they would have in a fight, how they would incorporate that. And to see Cloud, to see his moves and moveset actually get incorporated in a, side-scrolling fighting thing was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it does, you're right, it does open up the possibility of what other characters...
Yeah, because now that we've seen Cloud, a character from a company who has no business with Nintendo, can only mean, well... Everybody is now suddenly open season.
Doors open! Come on in!
Anybody could be available for Smash now. Now, the reason why it's probably, like, because for a while, I thought they were kind of done with Smash or announcing characters, because it had been, like, how long was the game?
A year.
Yeah, like, a little over a year, and they haven't made any new announcements or DLC plans for it, so outside of the Amiibo, I thought they were kind of done with Smash Brothers. Like, it kind of ran its course. But now that we're all of a sudden saying, we've got new characters coming out for Smash... tells me one thing. It's not because they're taking too long to make them as much as it is they're probably trying to acquire the license that is probably taking so long. And that's probably why it took Ryu and Cloud so long, just because now we have to go to these companies and try to work out a deal. Like, let's go to Square Enix. Let's try to get Cloud. Like, what kind of licenses are we going to have to... Oh, by the way, that Cloud Amiibo...
Smash is now really... The longevity of this game is now really... It's almost endless if you think about it. Because I've seen so many people say, like, oh, man, I'm playing Smash forever now because it's such a huge roster.
Keep it going. Like,
it's such a huge roster.
Already the maker said he had no interest in making a brand new Smash Brothers just because of how exhausting it is.
Well, just keep adding to it.
Yeah, just keep adding to this one. Like,
yeah, until the next system comes along. But yeah.
Just keep adding to it. Like,
there's so many third-party characters in this already, from Mega Man to Pac-Man, now Ryu and Cloud, that, yeah, it's kind of interesting that they can open up.
Like, it's pretty much like a video game all-stars. Like,
yeah.
Like, there are so many other cool characters you could put in. You could put Banjo-Kazooie. You could put Conker.
Yeah.
You could put Axel from Streets of Rage. Like, you've got so many characters that now are complete free range now. If Nintendo's willing to go out of their way to get characters that have no business being here.
Smash is a system that can pretty much adapt to any character. They can pick a character, we can pick some moves, and we can, have that person be in here. So yeah, it's pretty much open season for any of those characters.
So yeah, and of course...
Now, unfortunately, this leads to the negative side. Of course, not everyone is happy that Cloud is in this game. Go ahead.
So, not 2 days after Cloud was announced, apparently there was a petition going around to get Cloud removed because people were angry and outraged that Cloud is the choice character for Smash. Why? I don't know. Maybe because their favorite Final Fantasy character wasn't in it. Or maybe
this is interesting.
Or maybe because they thought Cloud wasn't worthy.
I heard this. I'm thinking, okay, either this is some really hardcore Nintendo fans who really don't want a third-party character that didn't appear on a Nintendo game in this thing. Like somehow it like injures the Nintendo brand or something.
I guess.
All right, Cloud is a Square Enix character.
Yeah.
But his games appeared on the PlayStation, primarily the PlayStation.
Only,
yeah. So he's never really been on... Now, there has been lots of Final Fantasy games that have appeared on Nintendo ones. And maybe I'm thinking... Maybe that's another thing. Maybe that's some people who maybe want like a Tara Bradford. That's her name?
Tara from
Final Fantasy 6 or 3.
Or 3.
Yeah, maybe for them that would make a little more sense because that was on a Super Nintendo game. Some people are maybe like a character from the first Final Fantasy
Warrior
game,
of Light,
Black Mage, something like that.
Yeah, Fighter,
Fighter.
Because there was no Warrior of Light in the first Final Fantasy. It was just create a party of 4 generic. Like the Warrior of Light was made up from Dissidia as the representative for the first Final Fantasy.
Shit, we need someone from Final Fantasy. Well,
from Final Fantasy 1.
There was no characters. Oh crap.
There was no set character. Like Garland was the villain, but there was no set.
Well, they were all collectively called the Warriors of Light, weren't they? Basically,
you can make the argument, but
hero. There were somebody. I mean, they were there. So we need someone to represent that game. But then you and I just said it. Bottom line, Cloud Strife is the face of Final Fantasy.
There's no arguing.
You can make a case he's the face of Square Enix. I mean, he's that guy. I'm sorry. When you come to
Final Fantasy
he's
7,
that mascot guy.
Because I'm sorry, like I like Final Fantasy, and don't think I'm not a Final Fantasy fan because I like the Tales series. I always thought that was really stupid. How like, oh, you're just a Tales fan. No wonder you don't like Final Fantasy. What?
Number one, I do like Final Fantasy. Number two, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
three,
you're
moving on.
Like I like art. I like good games. Okay.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy games.
This
can
whole
be. If a Final Fantasy
faction warfare we got going on in video games right now is just so
like if you're a Tales fan,
idiotic.
If you're a Tales fan, you can't like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. And
if you play a Nintendo Wii, you can't have an Xbox One or a PS4 or vice versa. I mean, this gang mentality thing we got going on is just so dumb.
The segregation between gamers because of stupid reasons. So
it's like West Side Story with video games.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, Final Fantasy fans.
A rumble tonight.
Okay. Let me say that again. I'm sorry, bigger Final Fantasy fans, but Final Fantasy hasn't really been doing well. In fact, most of their games have been kind of financial failures as of the past few years. So much so that they've kind of been relying on other games to clean up the mess, namely Tomb Raider. Like, Final Fantasy 13, I don't care if you like it or not, colossal failure of a franchise. I like the third one, though. Cloud, Final Fantasy 7 is pretty much the only Final Fantasy game that everybody collectively loves.
I disagree with that. I think Final Fantasy 6 has a lot of fans.
Now, I'm not saying that they don't love other ones, and I'm not saying that there aren't people who rebel against Final Fantasy 7 being the best one, but that is the one that gets the most love out of the fan base.
I believe that maybe 7 is the most popular. I think the best might be 6.
I personally can't say.
Yeah, I think you have to like.
I personally.
I think you have to cut up Final Fantasy games into two categories: ones that are your favorites versus ones that are collectively better.
And again, that's all a matter of opinion, anyway.
Right.
Like, because I know people who love Final Fantasy VI. I've never played it. I can't tell you. I do know about it. I know Kefka, really insane jerk who's got
Terra, Kefka.
Yeah, one hell of a final battle.
It's clearly known as one of the best video games on the Super Nintendo.
It's one of them. I hear Final Fantasy 3 was pretty was pretty good too.
Well, 3 was 6
not
our
not our Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah, I know.
Not ours.
Yeah.
There was I liked Final Fantasy 8. and I know a lot of other people did too.
We like 10 too.
Yeah, I really liked 10.
10.
Yeah, 10 was the first one I beat.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I can't stand Final Fantasy IX, not because I hate it, but because I can't get into it for the life of me. And I've tried on several occasions, really trying and wanting to get into it. I can't. But I know people absolutely adore Zidane and Vivi. And I guess I'm also one of those guys that I kind of liked Final Fantasy X too.
Right. Then you had the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, which has to go down as probably one of the most unnecessary trilogies of all time. It's like they were too far in; they had to keep going, even though people completely hated Final Fantasy 13 1, and then they did Final Fantasy 13 2, which is kind of a waste of time. But then, funny for us, they actually got to Lightning Returns, which actually plays like a Tales game. I know, it's like this is why we liked it so much.
I know, like I will stand as Final.
We played Lightning Returns and enjoyed it.
Lightning Returns is really good
because it was right down our alley.
and what's kind of cool is that you didn't need to play the first two to really get it.
And I know
because it was so weird. Lightning Returns, in terms of story, was completely off the grid. Yeah. Like, it's like, where the hell did you guys go? Because this is nowhere near how the second one ended. Because apparently, like, in Lightning Returns, the beginning of it talked about apparently centuries had gone on since the ending of the last game. So nothing is the same. It's pretty much God.
Well,
yeah. So you really don't.
Yeah.
have to play the other ones. Like, they'll clue you in.
I know we've pissed off a lot of people just saying we like that game, but hey, whatever.
I like Lightning Returns. I'm sorry, that one's a good game.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, come at me, hardcore, bro. Like, you come at me, not on me.
So I think it's really silly that people are actually making a petition to get Cloud removed from the game.
Yeah, because
Nintendo games should be the characters should be in here. Like, it's a party game. Games are supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have these, and the chance. It's like a Mugen game done well. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, but yeah, it's like if they can get these characters in here, it's supposed to be a celebration of video games. I don't see, and again, it's the same feeling I have when the Tekken fans flipped out because of that one Asian chick that had the stereotypical cat paws, and they wanted that character removed from the game. If you don't like it, don't play it. Sorry the language, but don't play it. Don't play as her.
Don't buy her.
It's not hurting anything. Or Killer Instincts fans getting so angry because Rash is the game, and the Battletoad characters in the game. He's an optional character. If you don't like him, don't play as him. One guy, I actually read a comment. One person was really excited for. Now this is a comment that came in. I read it. I just want to share it because I thought it was kind of interesting. Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Mm-hmm. This guy apparently was so excited that Tatsunoko versus Capcom was coming over here, but the moment he found out that Frank West was going to be in the game, he refused to buy it because he didn't want that Frank West to be in a same game, infecting his wonderful Tatsunoko characters. And I'm like, that is so
childish.
Well, look at this. You don't have to play as Frank West. And if you hate Frank West, well, look at it this way. Here you can play as your Tatsunoko characters, and you can beat the hell out of Frank West all you want. It's like people are so... I don't even know.
Entitled?
At this point, I don't even have the words to describe it. I mean, I really don't. I mean, if you don't like these characters in these games, don't play as them. No one's forcing you to. I don't know why this is such a big deal.
And better case, if you don't want Cloud in Smash Brothers, don't buy him.
He's an optional DLC.
Like... He's not in your disc.
Why are you so entitled that you don't want anyone else to have fun with this character? That this offends you so badly that no, it should be removed and destroyed because I don't like it. I don't like it. Therefore, no one else should be allowed to play it.
Now maybe we're taking maybe we're taking it too serious, and maybe the petition was made as a joke.
Maybe.
But
that's a good possibility. Yeah.
But it's so stupid that I'd have to believe it's true. I'd have to believe that somebody is so shallow and hurt by this that they'd want to go and make a petition to get Cloud removed. Which, by the way, these petitions, have they ever worked on anything? I've never once seen a company back down because they got a petition signed. So, yeah. Seeing Cloud in Smash Brothers, it's awesome. It's exciting. Because I really like Cloud. I really like Final Fantasy VII. I'm excited for the remake. Shoot, the rest of the world is excited for the remake. Didn't you see those reactions? Mm-hmm. Like, so yeah, I stand by what I said by collectively, Seven's probably got the biggest audience. Like,
the trailer reveals for Final Fantasy. What? Outrageous! Cloud Strifes and Smash Bros. Oh, we're stopping this. Go petition.org.
No! Oh! No.
Cloud Strife will appear in Smash Brothers over my dead body.
Over my dead body, this is gonna happen. So it only brings the question now. Like, I'm excited that Cloud is in Smash, and it only further excites me because now that we know that characters like Cloud can be in it, what other characters can possibly be in it? Can we see Lara Croft? Can we get Solid Snake back? I'm kind of surprised he isn't back. Can we see...
Oh, you want Sora. Come on.
Actually, that was something that they brought up. People brought that up. That funny how Street Fighter V got announced. Suddenly Ryu's in Smash Brothers. Final Fantasy VII Remake announced. Cloud gets in Smash Brothers. Kingdom Hearts 3, brand new trailer coming out. And people have made posts, guess who's next? With pictures of Sora. That'd be cool. I'd be for it. Like, he'd probably play like Shulk.
You know what would actually be hilarious? Is that
if it was Riku?
No. If Master Chief showed up or Smash. Oh. That would be hilarious.
That's the one. That's the one.
Master Chief, what are you doing? Finishing this fight.
Not to mention, over Microsoft's dead body.
That would be hilarious if Microsoft and Nintendo worked out a deal and Master Chief was in Smash Brothers.
That'd be freaking funny. No, even better. I can top that.
You can chop Master Chief. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I top that. Adding on to Master Chief, they do like a. This would be an event, really. Like they announce a duo pack. A duo DLC trip.
Okay.
Announcing Master Chief for Smash comes out of one room. Announcing on the other room, you see freaking Nathan Drake walking.
Sony.
Like, 3 companies coming together.
Right.
That would be impossible. No way.
That would be funny.
Like,
but yeah,
oh no, I got a better one.
Okay.
I got a better one. You see the dude from Gears of War come out?
Yeah.
Oh my god. He starts like hacking away at like he starts like cutting Mario's head off. Like, oh god.
Well, yeah, you think about, all the other characters that could Crash Bandicoot. I could see that happening.
Yeah, like who the hell
Spyro the Dragon?
Which necessary.
Jack and Daxter?
Very possible. Well, Sony brand, but
Ratchet and Clank? Also
possible. Well, it'd be nice. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of mascot characters.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Bubsy. I think it'd be funny. Like, let's get even the rejected mascots in here. Like, we're gonna dust off the old mascots and give them new life because you know what? These characters, their games might not have been that good, but god damn it if they're not memorable. For
Arrow
yeah, I know. I was gonna say bring in Arrow the Acrobat.
Sparkster.
Well, Sparkster's not bad. Yeah. Sparkster has every right to be in Smash because he's awesome. Mm-hmm. Bring in Sparkster the Rocket Knight. Bring in Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. Bring in Bubsy. Bring in Awesome Possum. Do you remember that one?
Honestly, a character that would make a lot of sense, but probably
bring in the Noid.
Actually, one character would make a lot of sense would be Simon Belmont.
Simon Belmont has been in a Smash-style fighter before, and it was that Dream Mix TV game for the PlayStation 2, which we played. He had a really good moveset there. There's no reason he couldn't work here.
Konami. That's the only reason. Because Konami has their heads up their ass. But yeah.
Yeah,
I can see Simon.
Yeah, or actually,
a Castlevania.
Yeah,
would be awesome.
Yeah, and not necessarily Simon. Just call him Belmont.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just like Belmont, and like all the costumes, like just like Cloud, are different.
Right.
Different Belmonts.
Right.
Like you've got the Belmont. It would start off like Simon would be like the default, and then like as you swapped costumes, it would be like chronologically. Like the next costume would be Trevor. He would look like Trevor. The next costume would probably be Richter. He'd look like Richter, and then the next costume he looks like Julius, and then the next costume
when he falls off a cliff, you can see him. You can use his whip to.
Yeah, like he can use that.
Climb back up, right?
Oh yeah, he can use the whip to climb back up. He's got the boomerang, which he can toss. He's
got of his sub weapons. So yeah, it's a character would make sense.
Like, and of course, Richter Belmont's the only Belmont that had like supers, so you can borrow those for like the supers, like Hydrostorm or like the Holy Cross or something. I don't think they'd want to get religious in it, so they'd probably do something else.
Right.
But yeah, there is no reason why a Belmont couldn't be in Smash. Like honestly, I'd like to see Knights in Smash. Another good candidate for Smash Brothers, Ryo Hazuki from Shenmue.
I mentioned Hayabusa from
Ryo Hayabusa.
Ninja Gaiden.
Possible.
Yeah.
Raiden.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I mentioned to you you kind of scoffed at me, but I mentioned Scorpion.
Yeah, because I'm like, really?
They could PG him up. I mean, he doesn't have to be ripping people's heads off. I mean, they could PG him up. You know, he doesn't have to necessarily be. I know it'd be kind of upsetting for Mortal Kombat fans, but it might be some kind of interesting. Like, come here and go to Mario.
Well, I scoffed at him.
Come here.
I scoffed at him because, like, when you take other characters from other fighting games, even Ryu, they had him stay faithful to how he fights in his own game. They didn't give him something he didn't have. For Scorpion, that'd be a little harder to do because
just don't give him the fatalities. You can give him everything else.
Fatalities are the super. Like, no, but like he's like his basic moveset.
No, what he does is he grabs him and then he goes down to a pit of fire and disappears. And then the pit of fire reappears and the character goes
Okay, yeah, that'd be one. I was thinking another super he could have where like he'd rip off his face and he'd just like
I was like, oh god, what the hell is that?
He'd rip off his face, he'd blow fire like on the entire field and and everybody else is just kind of avoid it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that'd be one super he had. Like obviously his get over here, that'd be one move that he could have. Like, what other
I just want to see him clapping.
Oh, yeah, because that'll happen. Well, actually, you want to know what'd be kind of funny? Like his different costumes. Like one of them is blue.
Oh yeah, green reptile.
Like, purple rain,
right?
Like Ermac red.
Ermac red. Yeah.
They're all doing scorpion moves though. Like, that's like it'd be funny.
It's fun. It's fun. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be taken seriously. It's
like
fun.
you got to incorporate their moves into this, and seeing like a Mortal Kombat style character trying to fight these.
You can do it. Just don't.
You probably could.
Just don't use the blood or the fatalities. That's all.
It'd be kind of funny. But like, yeah, I'm thinking about Scorpion. Like, yeah, he's got a sword now, so he could probably swing that around.
Remember, Scorpion was in a cartoon show in the '90s where he didn't impale people with his thing. He just kind of wrapped around like a rope and just tossed them to it. You can get around it. That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh yeah. Well, Link's got the hook shot. I mean, he impales people.
Yeah. Right.
Like, Link's got a hook shot that does come here, so.
And his teleport be just as cheap and annoying.
No, they'd have to gimp that, man.
Oh, motherfucker.
That'll piss people off. Like, he teleports to the ground, comes out at the top, and, like, nails this character. Like, oh, hell no. Like, they gotta nerf that. Other characters that could be in it. Like, this is fun. Just talk about characters.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Superman's not an option.
Or Goku.
Yeah. That was another one that people were rooting for. Like, get Goku in Smash. Like,
why?
Well, honestly, now after seeing Cloud, I guess it's possible.
I guess. I don't know. I just like we have Ryu. Isn't that enough? I mean,
really, Goku? Like at first, I thought Goku would be impossible.
oh hell, man! Put in Godzilla. Come on now.
Size doesn't matter. I mean, Bowser's supposed to be like 10 times the size of these people, and he's in it.
Right.
So honestly, when it comes to Smash Brothers, it's a game you're not supposed to take seriously. Size is not something you take seriously. I'm just kind of looking at your collection right now. Like, what other characters could be in here? Like, Mega Man X is impossible because we've got like a Mii representative.
Yeah, he's already there.
Zero possible, but doubtful. Like we already got like a Mega Man, 2 Mega Man reps. We don't need another.
Yeah.
Star Wars character.
Star Wars.
Obi-Wan. Darth Vader.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's possible.
But it's fun. You know, the bottom line, it's not supposed to be taken seriously. It's fun, and that's what it's supposed to be about. Yeah. So it's like, hey, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, put them all in there.
Yeah.
And let's just go have fun.
So, do you think it's possible Reed Herschel could get in Smash?
You know what? I would love Reed Herschel to be in Smash, but honestly, I gotta be realistic. If there ever was going to be a Tails character in a Smash game, it would be either two people. It would be either Kless or it'd be Lloyd.
I think there's 3 people. It'd probably be Kless, probably be Lloyd, or it'd probably be the newest character they were advertising.
Okay.
Whatever new character they were doing.
Any last thoughts on this, man?
Awesome to see Cloud in there. Hopefully he's not too broken.
That's the thing, though. You want to make these characters too powerful.
And that's kind of the problem with Smash, is that balancing is really an issue. Some characters in the right hands clearly are far superior than other characters. Meta Knight was broken as hell, but now he's gimped.
You're right.
Ryu, I hear, can be broken, but again, he's kind of those characters that you really either know or you don't. Fox, still kind of broken-ish. I don't know. I guess it really just depends on who's controlling him. Anyway, what do you guys think of Cloud being in Smash? Is it awesome? Are you excited? Do you have a heart on? Are you going to use those Chocobo characters? Let us know.